Right, FAB, Flavour and Beats here on Ablazin Radio, and it's your girl Diva DVine on the line, and I got the men themselves, yo, Avaron, DJ from Ultimate Rejects, yo, Ultimate Rejects is in here.
Already did.
Sexy, front of me.
We will go 500 MC.
Come up from the and all your body nice and close. And make sure everybody knows. Waste your time, she belongs to me. I said tonight I'm not thinking, but watching you girls.
Let's put some name right now, DJ Gekko.
My friends they are wasted.
Why negative six? Big up yourself, Rupee.
Washington DC and environs. The one and only MX Prime, we in the building, the Ultimate Rejects. We just heard Avaron do his thing. Tremendous amount of talent from that individual.
That's right.
I'm the least most talented individual in the entire group.
Why are you so silly?
Yeah, they just give me a blind, you know? And I just along with the ride.
Yeah, along with the ride.
But I want to big up Iceman, who is locked on listening.
That's right.
That's Joel.
Hi, Iceman. What's
And
up,
also Johann, Madman Johann.
Madman.
Just doing this thing in the studio, making sure that we have good music, we have, you know, great mixes, you know, and when we do our live shows, you know, we make sure that everything is in our gear. So shout out to the people back in Trinidad who are listening online, and shout out to the people in DC.
MX Prime. So you're in the building.
Yeah.
You know, one
Grateful
of the
to be
things
here.
you let me tell you, we are grateful you are here. The DMV, from since your last arrival for Alter Ego 3, people are beyond themselves that you guys are back. And y'all can literally come every weekend, and I think everybody could be happy.
You know what, before that, it took me about more than a decade to get back in this particular area because, as everybody knew, you know, I wasn't really on the circuit like...
You wasn't making no music?
No, I was doing music all the time.
Yeah, but you wasn't dropping nothing?
No, not doing music that this particular circuit would really and truly grasp, because I was coming on the road with the promoter, one of the promoters for the event that we're doing tomorrow.
That's right, Jay Cumberbatch.
One of the reasons why the name Ultimate Rejects was chosen is because when we started fusing what everybody, you know, is doing right now, you know, all those years ago, you know, nobody didn't really want to hear that because there was no audience for it, and change is uncomfortable. You know, change is very uncomfortable because from the time your son started walking, it was good to see, but then now you have to keep your eyes on him a little bit more because you don't know where he's going to climb, what he's going to pull down, what damage he's going to do to himself and the household.
I have a teenager, so my worries are on a different level.
I'm saying when he was a little child, that was the situation.
Right.
And with anything that change is always taking place, people are uncomfortable initially because they don't want this particular change to disrupt them. Right? So it is a process.
Right.
You know? So at the end of the day, what we do is art. And there will always be a time where something different, an artist is going to come with a different sound, a producer is going to come with a different sound, a DJ is going to come with a different repertoire, and you have to be prepared for it as a consumer in the creative market. You know, phones change all the time, upgrade. Mac keeps upgrading all the time. Windows have to compete. You know, everybody has to compete. Because that's the way of the world. And I felt that as an artist, I was staying in one particular area for too long. Because the very first thing that put me on a plane to travel was not soca music, it was dancehall music. At the age of 18, I went to Jamaica and recorded. So for those people who don't know that, now they know. Right? Because there are a lot of people who only know me through soca music, and that is cool, but you must know your history. You know? And if you don't know it, it's up to me to tell them. So in doing that, I put myself in a position where I believe that I am open to all sorts of music, especially Caribbean music. So now we are doing music called Caribbean dance music, which has that element of the electronic dance music sound along with the music of the islands. We're not excluding anybody in our music, but primarily what we do in Trinidad and Tobago is soca music. But eventually there are going to be ideas that we're going to bring forth that has zouk, compa, and all these different sorts of music that come from all over the Caribbean, including dancehall music. You know, which is already being used by many of the top EDM DJs across the world. So if I am to stay in one position too long and complain about no improvement or no change, then what kind of person am I? You know, I have to be able to facilitate the change and the evolution that is to come. Today he's a little kid. Next 10 years, he might be doing this. Or he might be doing something way advanced. But he could still do this. But we have to allow him to go as far as he supposed to go, because God brought him here, like every one of us,
with a purpose.
And some of our purpose is short, medium, and some of us go long term. Right? Not everybody lives to be the same age. So we need to understand that. So in music is no different. So the whole Ultimate Rejects movement, or name or title, came out of an experience where we felt as a collective, and when we put on music, it was more misunderstood, not really like underappreciated, but misunderstood. And what we had to do was have patience with the fans, with the audience, with the media, with everybody, so that they could understand what is to come. Because if I alone am doing this, then 20 years down the road and nobody else is doing it, then I'm going to be looking like I'm fighting a lost cause. But when you get more artists to come in and more, you know, DJs to endorse it and to support it, and the media to jump on it and give it reviews, whether negative or positive, but they're behind it, then people will be gravitating towards it. They will be drawn towards it because, hey, what's happening? What is this artist or this group is doing? And then we decided to be a little bit smart, because at the end of the day, God gave us a brain. We said, okay, the Carnival is coming up, and the best thing we could do for the Ultimate Rejects brand is put out a couple tracks so that the people who are not necessarily into what we do outside of the Carnival could appreciate us as musicians. And you know what happened? The road march title in record-breaking style. And we take no credit for that. We take no credit for that. We thank the Lord, and we thank the fans, we thank the supporters, we thank the DJs, we thank those people who are on Instagram filming and singing the song. We thank all the parents who allow their kids who was singing the song for them to post it and for us to repost it, because I believe you need to get permission from the parents when it is using children, you know, images and things like that on social media. So we thank all, everybody. So this wasn't about us. This was about something that people needed to see that is phenomenal, so that it will bring us in belief in all those who feel like they are underdogs, that nobody respect them, like nobody really appreciate them. So the name might, to some people, have a negative sound, but it's
anything but that.
Well, you know, I utilize it as a hashtag, and I always put I am an ultimate reject. And you know, one of the reasons why I started my Friday show was, you know, I did a Saturday show, and I would usually bring on a lot of the bigger artists that would make it on the platform in Trinidad.
Right.
And people would approach me all the time and say, oh, you know, when people use the word Caribbean, they use it loosely because it doesn't truly represent all of the Caribbean. It only seems to represent like the bigger islands, like the Jamaica or the Trinidad and possibly Barbados. And when I looked into it, I definitely realized, again, we have what, 22 major islands active, and each island brings something to the table. And in my research, I realized that each island actually, well, many of them had not only a lot of different artists to represent. I mean, they have artists that do hip-hop, that rap, that do reggaeton. Well, I mean, again, the Caribbean islands, we have Dutch-speaking, we have so many different islands, and each island has a different sound.
And this is why
each island has a different thing that they represent, but they never had a platform.
Yeah.
And this is why this show became so important and
also, this
so
is
popular.
why we as writers, performers, right, creative people, we are not limiting ourselves to one genre of music in 2017, right? And if this was Parliament, I would have knocked the desk.
Yeah.
We are not limiting ourselves to that, because if we have to make a mark, and a dent, and if we want to see the real talent emerge, we must allow this particular change that is taking place. There are producers in Trinidad and Tobago that are not doing soca music. They're into trap,
right?
They're into house, dance music. But you know what? They appreciate what I am doing, and what Bungie Garland is doing, and what a Marshall and a Kess and a Destra is doing. And someday, they're gonna come up with a beat, right, that is a representation of how they feel about our indigenous music, which is soca music or calypso, and bring it to us. Or some young person is going to bring something to the fore that we've never heard before, and it's going to create a stir, and they're going to say, oh gosh, they're going to spoil the thing. But you know what? That is life.
But guys, as ultimate rejects do, is that you do take the chance. And I said this, one of the arguments that I found that a lot of people do is that they feel like no promoter really goes out of their way to bring, well, they say small island, and I really don't like the phrase small island, but they feel as though they don't get an opportunity to have their artists and their music and their DJs played here. And I'm thinking that it's more important, first of all, if you have a passion for anything, then it's really more up to you to bring that. So if you believe that you need to see the small island, again, the people from other islands, then definitely invest in your passion.
True.
And when you invest in your passion, people will follow.
That is what everybody did, you know. Back in the day, you know, if I'm not mistaken, with the history of calypso music, when Roaring Lion and Attila the Hun came to New York City in the 1930s. That is what they did. They came and they were the first to do an interview on the calypso music, and at the time that was something that wasn't really known.
Right.
So it always starts with somebody taking a chance, going on do an interview or go and do a show or an exhibition or showcase to get something out there. If it is you don't start small, some people want the big thing first. No. If you come with 2 or 3 artists that is the most powerful in your island and your genre of music, and you go in a nice small club and you package it and you make it look good, and you stream it now, because we have you can stream on your phone and you can do all these different things, and you package it neatly and nicely, it looks good, people are going to come out eventually.
Right. And support it.
But people think about how much time it's going to take, and when you think about how much time it's going to take, it turns you off. Because they say this is only going to get big in the next 3 to 5 years. So I don't have 5 years. I want this to look good right now. But guess what?
You need those like
I was at least 10 pounds when I came out. I'm 180 now. That took time.
Right.
Everything takes time.
Yeah.
And you need to be patient, right? And you need to be diligent.
Because anything you get too fast can go just as quickly.
Exactly, right? And you need to put your heart
and your soul into it and joy into it. You know, even though it's not working out for you at this point in time, enjoy that. That is a part of the journey.
Right.
Failure is a big part of success.
Yes.
And that's something we preach in our unit. The failures. Nobody don't be around for the failures. It is only us licking our wounds and saying, okay, let's press that reset button. Let's be accountable for our actions and let's go again.
Yeah.
Because all those years where people were saying I wasn't recording and you're putting on music and I'm not getting play, I wasn't crying and telling people in my music not getting play. I was allowing people to say, and let me say that today, I was allowing people to say I have no music.
Right.
So that's why you could say that.
Yeah.
I remember Mom.
I wasn't telling nobody what was really going on. I had no time to stop and complain.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what? Nobody don't feel sorry for you.
But not only that, you never
And
really want
nobody
to tell
cares.
people about your journey until
But
they get where you have
nobody
to go.
cares.
Yeah.
Diva, nobody cares.
Yeah.
That is the reality. Nobody cares. So you know what? I just sucked it up and tried to get better at what I'm doing.
Right.
And say one day you're going to be able to put out music and people are going to appreciate the change that is taking place because time longer than twine.
Right.
So rather than complain and be all grumpy and be disgruntled
Right.
and send every rumor, every lie that you hear,
And let
or
that sidetrack you.
misinterpretation that you hear
Right.
out there, you just stay focused on what makes you happy and what's gonna get you from point A to point B to C, all the way down to Z, back to A again.
Yeah.
That's life.
I recently made a decision that was very important for me, and I felt very empowered in the decision. And a lot of people definitely are still reeling from the decision that I made. But you know, I feel that I'm a person that lives by faith. You know, and I step out on faith a lot because I speak a lot of things into existence.
Yep.
And sometimes when you speak things into existence, people aren't really going to be as supportive of that until whatever it needs to exist occurs. You know, so I truly get, hence why I say hashtag I am an ultimate reject, because people could always look and say, oh, well, what Diva really doing? But really, it's the same thing to some degree with many people. Fayan and Bungie were here the other day, and they said somewhat similar to what you guys said. When it comes to change, people are very uncomfortable with accepting change.
But it's a part of life.
Yeah.
Because,
Life is change.
yes, because at the end of the day, you had this little baby in your house that you love so much that you don't want to let out of your sight, and eventually, through the passage of time, that individual is going to be grown, and they'll have to make decisions on their own, and they will say, Mommy, Daddy, it was nice, I'm finding my own place, you know, I got a job, you know, or you have to send them off to college.
Right.
They're not going to be in your space all the time. So
Right.
you have to be ready for that transition, because you cannot prolong the inevitable.
Right.
That is a part of life. So
This too shall pass.
yes, you know, so at the end of the day, I am living testimony of what is
Possible.
possible when it is you put in the time, when you put in the effort,
And when you believe in yourself.
when you believe in yourself, when you don't allow negativity to detract you or derail you, right? And the little joy that you have, you hold on to it and you magnify it
Right.
every single day until people see it and feel it. Because when we take pictures with folks, and then the first thing they say, oh, you guys are welcoming and approachable and no fake vibes. And that's not something we put on. That is something from the household. So I want to thank my parents for that.
Yeah.
You know, for making me understand that no matter if you have $1 million or you have $1, a person is a person.
Right.
And you will be respected as a human being. Some people want to be respected as artists, as millionaire, as footballer, as doctor. And then if it is as a man, you don't carry about yourself in a respectable way. I don't care what it is you have, because where you're going after death, you can't carry them things with you.
Basically. Not at all.
You understand?
Not at all.
So at the end of the day, respect me as an individual, because I respect everybody in this room as an individual, not as your portfolio. You weren't born with a portfolio.
No.
You acquired that along the way, and you know what? When time to go, that can save you.
Right. You know, and hey, Gekko, where you going? Where you doing?
I just wanted to jump in here. You know, that's one of the things, that's one of the main reasons why I respect MX Prime and Ultimate Rejects as a group. You know, I said it before, like Maximus Dan is how you were introduced to me. I'm American born, but my roots are in Trinidad.
Good songs, man.
My mother took me to Trinidad for my first time for Carnival. I was about 14. I went back every year until I was about 26. I just recently took a 2-year break and I went back again. So I'm on track now. But
yes, man.
I say all of this to say, this man went on stage one night, and I swear to you, I've drank before, but I had enough to drink. But there was a moment of clarity. You see how he's talking now, and it's always positive, and it's just an energy. As drunk as I was, right before you performed Royal, from your Royal, right before that, he gave a speech similar to this, and the whole crowd went silent.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but positive vibes. And out of all of the artists that are in the market right now in Trinidad, he's the only one that I've seen that stayed strong to being an individual and knowing what he does and putting out his music.
Yeah.
And just like he said, you know, parents tell you all the time, show me 5 of your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Well, he just told us that the group that he's working with, the group of individuals that he's working with, you can't penetrate that group. So you're not going to see me in all of the jealousy and the negativity that goes on in this business, because you can't penetrate my group. And that says a lot about an artist. So I take my hat off to you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for the support too, all over, you know, through the years. And it's people like you know, we do this for. We do this for people who real. You know, at the end of the day, you know, you get the chance to be on a platform where millions of people have the chance to listen to you. So when you're on this microphone, you have power, you have responsibility. You may not say things that everyone can relate to. That's life. But you know what? You must take some time out. That's why I believe. That's why when I got involved in radio, you know, as much as we kicks every afternoon on 94.1 back in Trinidad and Tobago, we always leave them with something to say, hey,
positive, yeah.
Yes, because you never know what somebody's on their way to doing.
Yeah.
This might be a person's last ride. They say, here what? There's it today, you know. I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to rob this bank. I'm going to rob this business place. And because of what you say, even service a good morning.
Yeah.
You pass and say, God bless you, big brother.
Yeah.
That might change an individual's life.
Yeah.
So it's just a second it could take to make or break a situation. So I learned that from very early. So being involved in the public, I see it as is my duty rather than is my profession. It's my duty to always spread a little positive vibe, because I need that too. For me to keep going, I need to expel that energy so the energy comes back to me.
Right, right. Now, Avaron, for you as an ultimate reject, what is it for you as a person that allowed you to stay steadfast on this team?
Pretty much along the same lines of what you were saying. You know,
Yeah.
just being real.
Yeah.
You know, just being a hard worker, knowing what it is, you know, you want in life, and you know, just going after your goals, going after your dreams, and you know, being resilient.
Right.
You know, not letting anyone tell you, because I mean, similar situations just like him. I mean, I've been a DJ since I was probably like 13.
Right.
I've been DJing ever since I knew myself. And I mean, sometimes you go up against the
norms.
And it's like you have this network where you can't penetrate that network, you know, that kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, that's how it was then. It still kind of exists now, you know, but you just be resilient and just continue doing what you do and practice, work hard, and you know, just.
And it's one of the things that I noticed. I mean, each one of you are able to keep your individuality. You know, whether it's Madman, Johann, or Iceman, big up Joel, but yourself or MX. Each person brings something unique to the table and allows you to keep your individuality. Is that the thing that you found is the one thing that allows you to still be creative to this day?
Well, that ideally was the entire, you know, reason for the whole merger of the team, because we are still all individuals.
Right.
I mean, we're just learning from each other and just trying to get ideas, because I mean, Johann is a mixing, mastering, engineer, producer extraordinaire.
Right.
There's something I could learn from him. MX Prime, being a creative artist, writer, producer. There's something I could learn from him. You know, so I mean, we are all individuals just learning from each other.
Right.
You know,
and it allows you guys not to be competitive.
Correct.
Well, be able to work together seamlessly.
I actually think within our first meeting, that was like something that we established from the word go. From the time you walk in this room, you walk in this studio,
and you leave all that other foolishness behind.
Ego zone.
Right.
This is a no ego zone. It's either you're here to work as a team, or
you know, and it's okay, but you can't be here. Yeah. And I think that's important.
Cool.
It's probably what allows you.
If you have an ego and you want to be this thing, you know, it's cool. You know, you could go ahead and do your thing.
Right.
Just not in here.
Right. And I think that's important for any artist or any group especially. That is usually one of the things that breaks groups down, is that so many people have their own sense of it's all about me. Yeah. And it's very difficult for them to share the spotlight, you know, because they feel like, oh my gosh, if I have to share with this person, I'm gonna lose, But for all of you, it's very easy when I watch you guys work together, that one, it's a brotherhood, and two, you guys vibe off of each other. So it's not one of those, well, oh God, he getting this or this person. No, you all seem to be very easygoing and comfortable in your creativity. So definitely blessings to you.
And I mean, it's easy to really get caught or lost into the zone where, you know, you're looking at MX Prime, the caliber of artist that he is.
Yes.
Because I mean, looking at him since I'm in school.
Right.
You know,
because you've had your Gekko experience,
exactly.
You've had your TriniHeat experience,
exactly.
You've had your even, you know, we all understand.
And I would always tell him, I mean, to go from a kid in school,
right,
looking at you perform on a stage, to now working with you.
Yes.
That's mind-blowing for me.
Yeah.
You know?
And that he's so humble with it.
Exactly. So it's easy to get lost in the egos and thing, and telling yourself, well, he's a caliber of artist, you know, and I may have to work triple hard to get my spot,
right,
or to earn my spot in the team or whatever is the case. But I mean,
but the good thing is he shares, so you never have to really worry about getting your spot.
And it's just about you do your thing,
right,
you know, and the team will appreciate whatever you bring to the table, and actually use the experience that we're getting as we're traveling and just listening, meeting people.
Right.
It's not even just about listening to music. I mean, sometimes you just listen to someone's story. You listen to the way someone speaks, what country they came from, their culture, whatever their culture entails, and you learn something. You pick up something.
And all of that is things that you're fusing into.
All that is part of the inspiration.
Of course. Yeah. You know, and it's really amazing to me, as even though I am from the Caribbean, I know that a lot of people outside the Caribbean have no clue when it comes to the way we make music. That it's actually something that's done every year. People come out with new music. You know, once they're on there, it's like every single year they definitely like have to make an actual album. You know, so of course for me, you know,
which in a sense is a plus but a minus at the same time.
Well, I mean, it keeps you guys working on a regular, you know, which again, you guys have your own things that you do. Right. You do remain on tour once you have these hit singles, and you also have to keep creating. So it's like every time you go to a new country, you kind of have to find a way to get in a studio, you know, which must be really time consuming.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. As a DJ, do you travel with your stuff whenever you think of a beat, like you wake up with a recorder and you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, my laptop is always ready.
Right.
Always ready.
And your mind is always thinking.
Yeah, I always take notes, like sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I'm
wherever
dead,
you are.
I'm dead asleep.
Yeah.
And then something pops in there. Like,
Vax. You catch a Vax.
I have to get up and go and put it on somewhere.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, your laptop always have to be ready. You know, so yeah, inspiration comes anywhere, anyhow, anytime.
Well, I definitely appreciate you guys coming in. Hey, MX Prime.
Where you going?
You see, he gets to Accra. Yo, TriniHeat, give us a little something, because you know Jason is back. They have to relax themselves, you know. So we're going to give a little jam to the people, you know. You know, one of my favorite songs, so I would imagine that would get played at some point inside of here. But people, you have Ultimate Rejects, you have Avaron, you have MX Prime, and we're going to party a little bit before they have to leave.